to choose a souvenir that would enhance our authentic experience abroad, but left the souk feeling just the opposite, inauthentic and false. And Greg is not alone. I have observed experienced managers plan carefully for their negotiations, but end up with very different deals than those they had planned because they were caught up in the heat of the moment. I've seen friends make plans to improve their relationships, but fail to follow them due to their inability to put themselves in their partner's shoes. I have watched thoughtful managers planning new incentive schemes to motivate their employees, only to find the employees focused more on cheating the system than on working harder. And I have also noted similar inconsistencies in my own behavior. Why do our plans so often go astray? And how can we keep on track? Over the last 10 years, I embarked on a number of research projects that focused on answering just those questions. In Sidetracked, I'll share my findings. 3 different sets of forces influence our decisions in ways we commonly fail to anticipate. 1. Forces from within ourselves. 2. Forces from our relationships with others. And 3. Forces from the outside world. Throughout Sidetracked, I will describe the results of various studies examining the power of these forces and how they operate. I will suggest that we can make more successful decisions by understanding these forces, and that we can learn to account for them as we set goals or clarify plans of action. I will conclude each chapter by describing one principle for you to consider to avoid getting sidetracked in the future. Forces from within are factors that reside in both our minds and our hearts, and exist because of the very nature of being human. We will explore the accuracy, or lack thereof, of our beliefs about our abilities and competence in Chapter 1, the effects of our emotions on unrelated decisions in Chapter 2, and the consequences of having an overly narrow focus when evaluating information and making decisions in Chapter 3. Forces from our relationships are factors that characterize our relationships and interactions with others. We are social human beings, but our bonds with others often derail our plans. In the second part of the book, we will examine how this happens. I will discuss the difficulty of putting ourselves in others' shoes in Chapter 4, how sharing even superficial features with others, such as having the same first name, colors our viewpoint and decisions in Chapter 5, and how we are affected by comparing ourselves to others in Chapter 6. Finally, forces from the outside are factors that characterize the context in which we operate and make decisions. We will explore the effects of irrelevant information on our decisions in Chapter 7, examine why subtle differences in the way a question is framed lead to different solutions in Chapter 8, and discuss how the structure of our environment can cause us to veer off track in Chapter 9. To a certain extent, all these forces were at play when Greg was deciding what to buy at the souk. Forces from within made him concentrate on how wearing a panerai, albeit a fake, would make him feel, a prediction that turned out to be short-sighted and inaccurate. Forces from his relationships made him focus on the fact that he would look good relative to others, but at a much cheaper price. This focus may have clouded his understanding of the power of wearing counterfeits. And forces from the outside, the heady atmosphere of the souk, may have had an impact as well. Whether in a souk, on the streets of New York City, or in a nondescript shop, many of us have probably been in a situation similar to my husband's. We focused on the fact that we could show off our fashion sense by wearing Armani sunglasses or a Zegna suit bought at a fraction of the retail price. Wearing these products should send a very positive message, both to ourselves and others, about who we are. Psychologists and behavioral decision scientists